Thoughts with deep, going deep, Chad and JT.
Take that nugget and put it in the sauce. What's up, Stokers of Stoke Nation? This is Chad Kroger coming in with the Going Deep with Chad and JT podcast. Guys, before we begin, I want to remind you once again that we are brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pubed, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dong pieces are looking fresh, because this is the premier company that looks after your groinal pubes and makes sure that they look fresh, that they're trimmed, that they're evenly trimmed, you know? You don't want to get all spotty and stuff. You don't want to look like a friggin' farmland from above an airplane, you know what I mean? You want that straight cut of grass, like an MLB field, but without the stripes, I think.
Beautiful.
Actually, with the stripes, that would be cool.
You can see that from an airplane. You can see baseball diamonds.
Yeah, the different fucking tones. Okay. Dude, I had a dream last night that I was doing a Manscaped ad in like an auditorium.
Yeah, I've been having oddly specific dreams too that are very true to real life.
Yeah.
I had one where I was like in like going for like an entertainment job and my dad was there.
Really?
Yeah, and he was kind of blowing it for me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I woke up and I felt bad that I casted my dad in that part.
Yeah. Yeah, it's tough. Dude, my stepdad was in this dream.
Really?
And for some reason, he was like, I was like, I gotta go. So I like left. And I went, and then next thing I know, I'm like in an auditorium, and I'm like, Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pubed. And like this whole auditorium was like, yeah.
Oh, they were fired up.
They're fired up on the Manscaped.
It's a good audience.
Yeah. So
as they should be, dude.
Yeah. So to anyone listening and to the people in my dream, use code GODEEP20 at manscaped.com for fresh products. And Aaron, have you been manscaping?
I am due for it, and I'm looking forward to it.
All right.
Well, let us know, dude.
I like that optimism.
My lord, my legend, my liege.
Aaron, how's it going?
Good, dude. Just chilling. Boom, clap, Stokers.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot that. I'm here with my compadre, Jean Thomas. What up?
What up? Boom, clap, Stokers. Yeah, it's good to be here, man. Everything's going hunky-dory. I feel good.
Yeah.
Glad to be on mic chatting with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yeah.
I like hearing... I just like talking to a mic. It's nice.
It feels great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It makes you feel like your voice is so crisp.
Yeah.
And I hope it sounds the way I hear it.
I would recommend it for everybody. Just get a mic and talk into it for an hour a day.
Yeah.
Develop your radio voice.
Oh, for sure.
Because everyone has their own idiosyncratic voice, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just, and I think they're all lovely.
Oh, for sure. Just gotta find that right tone, and then you'll be cruising.
Maybe I'll just come in hot. I got some big news, guys.
Yeah, fire it off.
Went to the doctor. Well, first the doctor called me and told me I don't have subclinical hyperthyroidism, like I said on a previous pod. My test results were a little bit out of the norm, but he said all the symptoms I've been feeling have nothing to do with that. But I did come down with herpes. I have herpes now. Went to the doctor, had some itching and some weird stuff popping up on my dode. Looked kind of like volcanoes. And then, went to the doc and he took one look and he said, you got herpes. He didn't even test me.
Yeah.
And he had a 19-year-old kid in there with him shadowing him. And it was hard. I got real sad right away. And then the doctor said, look, he's been my doctor since I was a kid. He said, hey, dude, look, you're not Superman. We're all human. Mm-hmm. I think that was a good call. And then I cried for 30 minutes and then I'm feeling fine now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it happens.
You seem good.
It happens.
Dude, I'm stoked on your vulnerability. I mean, I'm stoked that you're getting it out there for people to hear, because, you know, the more, when you got the diagnosis, the more we learned about it, the more we're like, there's just a pretty gnarly stigma around it. And it's a lot more common than we think. I mean, I probably have herpes.
Maybe.
Because it's like 1 in 4.
Well, that's the thing, too, is I was actually being relatively safe. I had gotten tested, and the person I was with had just gotten tested.
Yeah.
And those tests are just pretty inaccurate. Like, you kind of have to have an outbreak to know 100% what your situation is.
Yeah.
And, I have it now, and I'm dealing with it. And it's like... they say like 1 in 4 people have it, you know?
Right, yeah.
So I've been trying to talk about it, and I have had some people come up to me and be like, yo, I got it too. And like, it's a wide range of people. You know what I mean? It's not just dirty dogs. It's a lot of, good Christians out there.
There's some solid people who are rocking it.
Who are rocking it
hard.
And I plan on rocking it. And actually, I went on a date with somebody else, and because I've been doing that, and I told them, and it was tough.
Right.
They swallowed it down like a snake swallowing down a 50-pound rock.
Yeah.
But we've stayed incommunicado, and we're gonna go on another date. So I think obviously it's gonna be a deal breaker for some people, but I think to me it's like I wrote down a thing in my phone where I said I'm gonna work so hard to make this like the 12th thing people mention about me.
Yeah.
No,
and
so
I mean it's one way you could look at it for potential dating partners is it's like a good filter to see like who's ready to cross that bridge for you,
and who really like that she really likes me. Yeah.
It's like there's no if they're down and they don't have it, then you know that they're really
and I feel a little
into you.
I feel a little scared about that, but I don't know. I think I just got to be safer and be smart about it and tell people early on, and then we'll see how it goes. Yeah. But I'm not bumming on it that hard. No. I think I'd take that over anxiety or like the shame aspect. Like I don't know. I'm ashamed of times I was like shitty to people. I'm not really ashamed of like boning.
It happens, and like, dude, it's crazy that. Because when I learned you had it, I like researched STD tests. They don't usually. I think you mentioned this earlier. They don't really test for it. Yeah. Like I was like, because I got one in May, and I'm like, I called them up. I was like, because I hearing how common it was, and they're like, yeah, we don't test for that. Yeah. Which is so interesting. I always assumed that was part of the package. Yeah. But then the more you look into it, the more you realize it's there's just mostly just a stigma around it. In reality, from what I've heard, it seems like it's just like an uncomfortable rash once or twice a year. Yeah, maybe.
I heard some people, they don't even get it again after the first outbreak. So I'm hoping for that kind of luck. Yeah, and I got the Valtrex, and gonna rub her up and just It
could just be dormant.
Stay romantic.
It could just be dormant in your vessel, just chilling, taking up space and being like, what up? Probably, there's a chance it could just not say what up to your dong again.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that'd be nice, dude. Yeah. Just came by, say hello once, and then, fond memories for life, but hopefully I never see you again, dude. Yeah. Or not super fond, but, whatever. And then you and I were, when I was dealing with it, like when I initially found out, you and I were like walking through a mall. Yeah. And I was like, oh, dude, these fucking herpes are killing me, dude. And this mom and son in front of us.
Oh, yeah,
like,
dude. Weren't we on like an escalator or something?
Yeah, yeah.
Good. They should know about it early, and you gotta let these kids know early that it's not that bad.
Yeah, I don't think it's the worst thing that can happen to someone, not by a long shot. No. And I don't know. It is what it is. Nothing I can do about it now. It did kind of hurt on the date when I thought like I was being rejected for it, but then at the same time it's like, you know what I did after? I scooted. Yeah. And I felt good that I told her. Like early too. I told her early. Yeah. And I was like, I thought of this line from Little Women where they're like, if I couldn't have someone's love, I'd still have their respect. And I was like, yeah, she'll respect me because I freaking told her what's up. Yeah. But then she said she'd go on another date with me. So yeah, we're gonna go huck axes. We're gonna throw some axes.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, though, it might be like a shock for them to hear it first, but the more they think on it, they're gonna be like, wow, I really appreciate the honesty, and now I think I like him even more.
Oh, dude, that's nice.
That's how I picture it going down.
And I'm cool with the person who gave it to me. No hard feelings. She's really sweet. She's a really good person. She didn't know. Yeah. She thought she was having like a UTI. Yeah. And then there wasn't any like visual evidence. Yeah. And so we're good. I admire her deeply.
Fired up on the vulnerability and the honesty. And I think it's to anyone listening, I think your strength is going to mean a lot to them.
Come on. You're nice. Thank you, dude.
No, dude.
Dude. Aaron, what do you think?
I mean, I was just curious how how you figured out how you got it and all that stuff. Like who?
Well, I was only sleeping with. I've only slept with one person since my breakup, and so it was kind of obvious. And then she was having symptoms, but we didn't know she was having symptoms,
Yeah.
And then so we were still having sex once in a while, and then I went and got checked out, and then she went and got checked out, and it was confirmed we both had it. I mean, there's a possibility that I gave it to her, and that's what's. But I think I don't know. But yeah, she was like she's like, oh, like something hurts, and I was like, okay, and then but I didn't think I thought it was like the remnants of a UTI or something, and then
or improper manscaping.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, dude, yeah.
And then something popped up on my dode, and I thought she'd put like a cleanser on my wiener, because she thought that my dong was dirty, and that's what was giving her the UTIs. And then when that created something, I thought it was from the cleanser. I was like, oh, the cleanser like dried it out and made a spot, but then like 5 other spots popped up. And then I was like, oh fuck, dude. And then I started getting like all these. You get like weird shocking sensations in your legs and in your butt. And I was like, okay, something's going on here. And then I was pretty sure. I basically mentally was like, you got herpes. Well, I went to one doctor locally, and he was like, no, maybe it's not. Maybe it's from the cleanser. But then when I went to my home doctor, took one look at it, he just said, that's herpes, bro. Yeah. And I had like tears in my eyes. I was like, you want to test it, doc? And then he's like,
should.
No, and then he's like, dude, literally, he was like, I don't need to test it. That's herpes 100%.
Yeah.
And I trust him. He's a great guy, and he gave me a nice hug. He's a good dude. And then I just cried in the car, punched the steering wheel a couple times. Was a little frustrated with the person who gave it to me, but overall, it's like, I was doing stuff where that stuff happens, and I've been reckless in the past.
It's not a death sentence, though.
No. I mean, it's like.
It's almost like the herpes came and you're like, what took you so long?
I looked at it, I said, I thought you'd be taller.
Yeah. When you came in, because you came into work and you're like, dude, I got a rash on my dong from this cleaner. I'm so pissed.
Yeah.
And then you started to be like, maybe it's herpes. I was like, no way. There's no way. And then he texted me like, yeah, I got it. And I'm like, welcome to this day. I don't know what the fuck.
No, you were totally nice about it. Yeah.
But
it's cool. And then yeah, I don't know. So that's that. We'll see. And wrap up your dode.
Yeah.
And if you have it, you gotta tell people.
Yeah.
Not everybody, but the people who will be impacted. But yeah. Cool.
Sweet.
What
how do you feel?
I feel good.
Yeah.
Talking about it? Yeah, it feels normal to talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wear a condom. It's much better for your physical and mental health. 100%.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well,
I told my parents, they're all good about it.
nice. Moving forward, we threw up a Mike Bloomberg.
Yeah, you got into some political heat.
Well, the guy who runs our podcast account, Jack Steiner, shout out. He's a legend. He made this meme, which I thought was so funny. I didn't realize it was like circulating the internet so heavily.
When I first saw it, I thought he came up with the entire concept.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't follow any of the other meme accounts that were
Yeah.
doing that, that were doing the Bloomberg DM thing.
Right, yeah. I saw it on Fuck Jerry, and that's it.
Right.
And I was like, oh, that's funny. And then I saw it was real. And then he made it, and I was like, oh, that's hilarious. It just cracked me up. So I posted it. Next thing I know, 100 comments, just like, you sold out, dude. Unfollowing. Way to get political. I was like, what, dude?
Yeah, people thought the Bloomberg campaign had paid you
Right,
to
yeah,
put up
yeah.
the ad.
I'm like, how could you think that he would message me that? But in a sense, it was kind of flattering, because I'm like,
Well, it is plausible, I think.
yeah, I guess people are saying that we have the social
Reach.
currency to get a friggin' Bloomberg, but
Yeah, and everyone in the comments is like, Trump 2020 and like all this different
Yeah,
shit.
dude.
I'm like, dude.
I was like, dude, it's a small dong movement.
And then people are fighting, and then like our friend Bree, who
Yeah.
is a really funny cool person who helps us with a lot of our stuff and like comes up with ideas and whatnot. And someone went after her in the comments, and then I was like, maybe being over the top, I started defending Bree. But then me and that person got into a sidebar DM, and we're actually super cool now. Now we follow each other, and we're good.
Oh, you guys follow each other now?
Yeah, and
Nice.
I see all of her stories. She's actually really nice.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
It was just, I think everyone just was so fired up. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? That it was, and I got too fired up. I had to delete a few comments because
Yeah.
I was like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
And then,
and I was just like, in my mind, I was like, guys, this is small dong stuff, okay? We're not making any political statements. This is small dong. But also at the same time, I didn't even want to respond to like, I was like,
Yeah.
whatever, you know, this will.
well, for
people
you,
get
it was just
mad.
like absurd. You weren't
Yeah.
thinking about like the, what would you call it? Like what each candidate represents or something like that.
No, I don't
Yeah.
even know what they're doing.
Yeah.
I just learned who Mike Bloomberg was last week. I was like, oh, nice, a mayor. But
Well, then you ended up being, I think it all worked out as some kind of commentary on the whole situation. I don't quite know
Yeah.
what the commentary was.
Yeah.
But someone was like, oh, that was like brilliant satire when you did that. I was like, hey, if that's what you take away from it,
yeah,
I'll take, I'm happy to be in the wake of that.
yeah. I mean, it kind of fired me up in the sense though of like how hilarious it is to fire people up like that.
Yeah.
To get people that heated over, you know, what you think is just like a funny meme, and then people just go insane, and you're like, I was thinking like that night, I was like, man, I kind of opened Pandora's box of like messing with people a little bit.
No, which is good. Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's, I think we both, you know, want everyone to feel stoked. You
Yeah,
know? But
yeah.
then sometimes you can be so cautious trying to make everybody stoked. You
Yeah.
forget that, like, it's all right to rattle people's cages once in a while. Yeah.
It's sort of like in like big wave surfing when you know you're in big waves and you just don't want to wipe out because you're like, this looks terrible, like, you know, I'm gonna get thrashed, and then you wipe out on a big wave and you come up and you're like, that wasn't that bad, and then it builds up your armor to keep going out there and fear less until basically you have no fear, like the t-shirt.
Fuck yeah. It was a very clever campaign by Bloomberg, you know?
Yeah.
That was like, because it really did take off. Aaron, what did you see? We posted that. Did you have an initial reaction? You can keep it 100 with us.
I don't know the meme, and I just looked for it just to see what it was.
Oh, okay. Well,
But,
that's the best. That works. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I imagine Bloomberg does have a small dong though. I mean, he's like 4'11".
Oh, for real?
He's a tiny guy, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, so that
Tiny guy,
maybe
big wallet.
that's
Yeah, I
why
was
people
gonna
bought
say,
it.
yeah.
You know, they're like, wow, some guys who really know what I stand for.
Yeah, it's just crazy times.
Yeah. But Bloomberg, if you got a small hog, shout out, dude. I'm fired up on, you know, your little thing. So, you know, if there's some truth to that statement, then what up?
What up? What else? There was a couple weeks ago, Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
It was nice. We ordered some food from the grocery store, so we made food. She made my GF made basically like pasta with shrimp, and I made a
Nice.
salad. I did a pretty shitty job.
No.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I way over calculated. You know, I put way too much lettuce in, and you know, I was like, I put together a salad. I'm like, I fucked this whole thing up.
What else was in the salad? Give me the.
Oh,
juice.
okay, so I put romaine lettuce. I put tomato. She's like, what do you want for the salad? And I'm like, I want romaine lettuce. I want tomatoes. I want avocado and feta cheese.
Nice.
And for me personally, I get, you know, I like lots of tomatoes, and I always serve for one. I never serve for two. So I was just like, I dumped the whole bag of lettuce in. I was like,
Right.
I think this will be good for two. Then put like a bunch of tomatoes in and like a couple avocados. There's like a big bowl, and I was like, fuck. But it ended up being fun.
Dude, I got a thing I did too. I went to the XFL game. Dude, amazing.
Oh, yeah.
The Wildcats, get your claws up. This is brilliant marketing. Get your claws up. Yeah. I loved it. That was the most organic cheering for a football team experience I've had in my whole life. It's sad, but I
Yeah.
grew up in Orange County, you know?
Yeah.
You got the Chargers down south, The LA teams weren't there, and it was just we were football nomads. And then I walked into the Dignity Health Stadium, horrendous name, and I cheered for the Wildcats, and it felt real.
Yeah.
And it was just it was fire, dude. They got Josh Johnson as their quarterback, USD alum. You know, I've known about that dude since I was young, and it was good to see him slinging it for a California team. And I don't know, it's just a great experience. It's funny that I saw like Todd Gurley from the Rams was there, and I was like, I freaked out more seeing him than anything. And I'm like, oh well, NFL players are still. But when you see Todd Gurley in an NFL game, he doesn't stick out as much because he's amongst other NFL players. But at the XFL game, you're like, that's Todd Gurley.
Wait, he wasn't playing though?
No, he's on the LA.
He's on the Rams.
Yeah.
But he's just watching?
Yeah. And the fans were going crazy, dude. The LA fans were great because it's cheap tickets too.
Yeah.
And everyone was like going ballistic. They almost came back and won.
Yeah.
It's funny too because they're a brand new team. So I was like, you really need to win because we're a fickle town. Like we're not going to pull for you unless you guys get the W. And then they came up short, but I was like, you know what? I'll still love you, Wildcats.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to more games. And it's easy to get in and out of it. It's not like the Coliseum where it's like 100,000 people and you're fucking in a body crunch and you think you're going to, get smashed in a human pile. It was like it was easy to get in and out of.
If you're in the lower rows at the Coliseum, do not drink tall cans because you'll never get to the bathroom.
Yeah.
Dude, it seems like at the XFL they're going to have true football fans.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like is happening to me. I read this thing about Billy Joel that he was so tired of like rich yuppie people or whatever being in the front rows that he'd never sells tickets to the front row seats, and he takes the people who are in like the nosebleed section, puts them in the front. He takes like a group of them, puts them in the front because he wants the true fans up top.
Nice.
Yeah.
He's a legend.
He wants the XFLers up top.
Dude, it's great stuff. But they got to win. We're fickle here. Maybe we're not. But I mean, like, look at what we did look at how we turned on Jennifer Lawrence. We turned on people.
Have we turned on her?
I think they did. Yeah. I think we did.
The fans or the industry?
Just the culture at large. We loved her, and then we thought she was doing too much of what made us love her, and it became caricature. That's actually my beef is around another person who I think has kind of gone through that transition.
You think she'll be back?
She's back.
Is she filming it?
She's below the radar a little bit. I think that's the place to be when you get to that oversaturation point.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if she's in anything yet. You want to do another ad and then we'll do some questions?
Yeah. Guys, what up? I am interrupting this podcast to let you know once again that we are brought to you by Manscaped. Manscaped, thank you so much for keeping our trims pubed, for looking after our hogs, for making sure that our dongs are looking fresh and clean. Because when you guys are tending after your dongs, you want to make sure that your pubes look nice and trim and fresh, okay? Like a fresh lawn. You want them to look like the front lawn of the White House, where people are taking tender loving care. So when you expose it to people, when you show people and you take down your pants and you say, "This is my hog, what up?" then people will be like, "Nice pubes." So use code GODEEP20 at manscaped.com for 20% off free shipping with the code GODEEP20. Valentine's Day is over, but for me it never ends. Romance never ends. So keep your trims pubed for the next Valentine's Day, which hopefully for you is this Friday, if that makes sense. Okay, that's it.
Nice, dude. All right, let's get into some cues. My 2-year-old says I'm a schmoll. Hello, everyone, especially JT's dad. In the most respectful way, he seems like a really awesome dude. My name is Hannah, and I have a very sweet 2-year-old who is still working on words, but the worst thing has happened. She called me a schmoll. I looked at my husband, who just shrugged. I am hurt. I love my daughter, but I was not expecting her to call me out like that. And for my husband not to back me up, should I be mad at my daughter for calling me out or proud that she is handling a situation that has evidently gotten really bad? And should I be mad at my husband for not backing me up? Where do I begin on finding the faults I have that make me a schmoll? I want to change. I love my family. I don't know what to do. Please help. I know you Stoke Lords will know exactly what to say. I need a non-biased opinion. Thank you. It's tough, man.
Yeah, I mean...
babies don't lie.
Yeah, it's kind of hard. It's kind of the worst fear right there is your child calling you a schmoll, but
And I'm curious, was that amongst the baby's first words?
hmm.
Like, did schmoll come before mom?
Hmm.
Oh, heartbreaking.
That also means that your baby's kind of a ledge too for picking up the jargon so quickly.
Oh, for sure.
That means you must be pumping the podcast
Yeah.
around that little one. So big kudos to you for trusting us to inform your baby's mind
Yeah, for sure.
at such a malleable age.
I mean, yeah, basically congrats on your child being a savage. But, you know, I think it could either be one of two things. Maybe you were being a schmoll, which I don't think you were. You sound like a very nice lady and a good mom. So I think you were not being a schmoll. I think this is, you know, this child is 2 years old and you don't know what kind of hormones are pumped through that body. But this sounds like, you know, pre-toddler rebellion. So I wouldn't worry too much about it. I think it's a natural part of growing up and natural part of development. And, you know, you can only go up from here. I mean, you start out as a schmoll, the only way is up. So
Yeah, at some point every kid thinks their parents are schmoll. So it's good for your
sure.
kid to get out of the way at 2. And then from like 4 on, it's going to be smooth sailing.
oh yeah,
But you're dealing with the rebellion phase right now.
yeah. So yeah, you're just getting this out of the way now. I mean, it's gonna be a tough 2 years, but then you're gonna come out and you guys are gonna be, you know, just crushing like Bruce Willis movies together, whatever you like to do, and just living it up.
And I think there's an instinct too to like, you know, want to punk your baby to let it know that it's the schmoll because it like requires you to survive.
Yeah.
But I would resist that and approach it with empathy. And I think you're doing that because in your question you talked about how you can improve. So don't be hard on yourself. But yeah, think honestly about what you're doing that might make your baby think that you're a schmoll, and you know, do it with compassion for yourself. And then, you know, maybe tweak that stuff. And I wouldn't be mad at your husband. I think he was probably caught between two people he loves and he didn't want to take sides. But you can tell him respectfully, like, honey, next time our little one says that I'm a schmoll, I'd appreciate it if you let him know how dank I am. And I think that'll, you know, it'll provide balance, which is what I think he could serve up in that moment.
Yeah, you brought up a very important point too. I mean, if your baby calls you a schmoll and you want to boke your baby, it's kind of tough to do because usually that results in jail time.
Yeah.
Or just, you know, getting labeled as a bad parent.
And the baby.
Yeah, and if the baby wants to boke you, you know, if the baby wants to boke her mom, then pretty quickly she realizes you're not the schmoll. You're the one providing for her and caring for her.
Yeah.
And then she's going to be like, I'm the schmoll for trying to boke my freaking mom. And so, I mean, only good things will come out of this, but I respect the pickle that you're in. And, you know, your husband, he's just, I think he's playing it as cool as he can, you know. He's letting this baby find out, you know, who to call a schmoll and who not to. So I think he's doing a legit job.
And there's probably a part of him too that's like, oh, I'm glad I'm not the schmoll.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And you have to just let people have that for a moment.
For sure.
But if he starts flexing on it and he's like, oh, baby thinks you're a schmoll and I'm not a schmoll.
Yeah.
And you're like, watch it, bro.
Yeah.
You know? Because you made half the thing that's calling. No.
No,
that
I
point
think
doesn't make sense.
if he starts to flex, then it's like, all right, you get to do the shitty things as a parent. You get to take away the goldfish
Yeah.
during rocket power.
Right.
You get to take away the Go-Gurt during Dora the Explorer. And then who's the schmoll now? Then he gets called the schmoll, and then you take the noble route and you don't rub it in his face. And then, I mean, yeah.
That's what's up.
I just got an idea.
Oh, dude,
Hit
it
it.
is.
Do a little Doc McStuffins role play where your husband is fixing you up to take away the schmollness. It gives you an
Oh.
injection to remove the schmoll from you.
In front of the baby.
Well, yeah, I mean,
So-
yeah,
so-
that would help.
So some like theater.
Yeah.
Because I didn't catch the ref, but I like the senior painting.
Mm-hmm.
That works. Good stuff. Then the baby's clapping hands, loving it all.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, make the mom into a hero, which they are, dude.
for sure.
How do I save my girl from this schmoll? Yo, what up, dogs? I'm a high school junior from Utah. I need advice on what to do with my relationship with my ex. We broke up about 1.5 years ago, and I've only hung out a couple times since then. We stopped talking about 8 months ago, and it's super awkward right now. I still care about her and have feelings for her, but the only problem is that she has a senior boyfriend now. He is a total schmoll and not social at all. I've tried talking to him and getting to know him, but he's super rude and standoffish. But I've tried to talk to her, but I don't see her often because they don't go out or whenever I see her. They're together. How can I get back to the point where we're friends again and I can make my move to save this total babe from this total giraffe dick? Thanks. Giraffe dick. By the way, love the pod, keeping my stoke up every day. Thanks for giving us Mormons a nice shout out. Utah loves Chad and JT and Joe's massive dong. Thanks, dogs.
Oh, hell yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure, dog.
Nice.
Dude, so yeah, I think you gotta...
I think he's got to let her do her thing.
Yeah, I think you gotta let it go because it's not really your place. You're saying that he wants to steal her, is what he wants.
It sounds
right?
like it. He wants her back.
He wants her back. Well, how do you do that? I mean, is there a non-greasy way to do that? I don't know, man. I think your soul is going to take some hits. I think there's a couple noble ways you can do it. You know, you can challenge the guy to a decathlon, an academic decathlon.
Yep.
And if you win, she'll know that they're your top dog. But other than that, all the other stuff, there's too much danger baked into it, and the other route has too much sleaziness baked into it. So, yeah, I would just challenge him to a brain off, and then if that doesn't work, you just got to keep it moving.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think in this situation, you either got to let it go, because if you're going to go approach her and be like, this dude is a total schmoll, that'll just backfire on you. I mean, you just got to let things occur as they will occur, you know? You can't control what's happening in the universe. You can't control the schmoll. You can't control her. All you can control is what you do and your judgment on things that occur. And that's Buddhism for you in a freaking nutshell.
And that's when things start working out better for you.
Yeah.
Dude, I've said it before. Parable of the unicorn. You go chasing that unicorn through the forest, you're going to cut down all the trees, and by the time you're done, there's going to be no forest, and you're going to have no unicorn.
Yeah.
But if you have a pretty picnic and you play the mandolin, that unicorn's going to come walking right up to you, dude.
For sure.
And this unicorn will probably be a different unicorn than the first unicorn, which isn't your unicorn anymore.
Yeah.
And probably never was. It's never our unicorn.
Yeah, so
we just get to pet it for a while.
For sure. Yeah, so I would say, you know, instead of worrying about her and what she's doing, because I'm sure you're a fire dude, you know, I would start reading Marcus Aurelius' meditations and maybe some Buddhism stuff. So, you know, you can learn to let go of the way you're feeling about these things and change the... Because, I mean, Stoicism is all about you got to change your judgment on things that occur. So that or decathlon, you know, crush them in some trivia. Maybe play bingo and rig the game and beat him. All good options.
Yep. JT's jacket inspiration. What up, my brothers? I wanted to reach out and personally thank JT for his sage wisdom. On a recent pod, JT talked about... This one's very... I saw the name and I had to read it. I'm sorry. JT talked about branching out into the unknown, wearing a jacket that was loud, that he knew could elicit a reaction from many. Yeah, I got it sitting on my chair today. This kind of courage inspired me. I went to the Gap the next day and set off a mission to honor JT's courage and to join him in the fashion empire. I wore this jacket to give a speech at college, then hit it off afterwards for the first time with a beautiful Betty. God bless you. Chad, thank you for your commitment to tanning. It inspired me to tan every Sabbath. I think God has amped up my commitment to rest and raise. Wyatt, here's his jacket that he bought.
Oh, wow. Oh, dude,
Look
got
at
the
the smile.
collar.
And the smile that goes with it, dude. You can tell he's really feeling sexy. And you know what? You look sexy, my friend. So good on you, Wyatt.
He's got nice flow, too.
He's got nice hair.
Yeah, dude, keep boning in your jacket. I love it.
What up, Chad? What up, JT? My name is Alex. I always listen to you guys for advice, and it's increased my stokedness. I'm in college, and lately I've been super busy and still trying to maintain and do fun stuff. Lately, I've been seeing my crush around campus multiple times. She gives me good signals, and when she sees me, she always wants to talk to me. But since I have been seeing her a lot lately, it's been kind of weird because I see her every day. We only have talked a few times and haven't had a deep convo or actually hang out with her outside of campus yet. We talk every day, but they are short and kickback convos with other bros. I feel there's a reason for me to be seeing her every day and means I have to ask her out sometime. Valentine's Day is coming up, and I feel that I don't have the balls to ask her out. Chad, JT, what can I say, bro? How can I raise my stokedness to have the balls to ask her out? Thank you, boys, and stay living it up, my dogs.
Dude, sorry we missed you before Valentine's Day. But I mean, just because the holidays pass doesn't mean you can't go out there and say what up. You know what, dude? I mean, you just got to go out there and do it. And don't be too attached to the outcome. Just approach her, be confident, say, hey, I feel a solid connection. In fact, I feel sparks between us. And I would love to take you out for a daiquiri, whether that be a virgin daiquiri or not. It's up to you. But that's what I want to do. How do you feel about it?
She's going to be down, bro.
Yeah.
And if she's not, you feel that pain. And then you move on. But she's going to be down.
Yeah. And the more pain you feel, the more rips you get in that heart, the stronger it's going to be. And then you're going to have the heart of a guy like who sprints every day and just like it's pumping out massive amounts of O2.
That's awesome. I love that.
A romantic O2.
Yeah. Your heart's going to be as jacked as Maurice Green.
Aaron, what do you think you should say to her?
What you should say to her? Oof.
You don't have to get into specifics, but how do you think he should approach it?
Well, yeah, definitely don't. I mean, I know it's after Valentine's Day, but like definitely would not have put that pressure on it.
Oh, good call. Good call.
Yeah, you got to be dating for a little while before Valentine's Day to even like really treat it huge.
Yeah. Wait, he wanted to go out with her on Valentine's Day?
It was coming up. That's what he said in the
Oh,
email.
dude, that's crazy.
Yeah.
You can't do that, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, is that what he's asking?
I think so. All respect to you, man. And I love that you have these grand ambitions for the relation. But if you're going to scare off a lot of people asking him out on Valentine's Day, it's a day fraught with meaning.
Yeah.
What up, Stoke Lords? I got a situation. I've been dating this girl for over a year and a half, and she hasn't stayed the night. I just bought a house last summer, and it's not that she doesn't want to stay, but her mom is super overprotected. Could be considered a helicopter parent. I'm 22, and my GF is 20. How do we come about the sitch to her? How do we come about the sitch to her mom without causing beef and making it awkward, but at the same time getting the point across that she's not a kid anymore and can stay the night in my crib? Thanks for reading, Casey from Nodec. Bro, you get more flies with honey. Like, I wouldn't try and be like stern with the mom at all and be like, hey, look, we're adults, we can do this. I think that's going to read as defensive and aggressive at the same time. I think you got to win this mom over. She's got to know you're a legit dude who's going to protect her daughter and has her daughter's best interest at heart. And how do you do that? Invite her over for dinner and just play the long game. Earn the trust. Really earn it through honest, diligent, integrity-infused action. And then the mom's going to give you the green light. And then you and your sweet honey are going to, have mom-sanctioned pow-pow.
I like that. And if she doesn't let you, I mean, you can take solace in the fact that you're probably getting a better night's sleep without her there.
For sure.
So just be like, well, yeah, I'm getting good rest. I'm getting my 8 hours. I feel refreshed, and I feel ready to give 100%, 110% to this relationship every day because I'm taking care of my health by sleeping.
Dude, I feel you too. I feel you on that, but dude, for me, it's like, that's the hardest part about not being in a relationship is late at night. At 11 o'clock every night, a wave of anxiety just comes over me, and I just have a strong need to be comforted by someone. And then so I just have to do it with meditation, but, which is legit. Well, damn, Jackie, I can't control the douchebags. What up, Chad and JT and the rest of the Stoker crew? That was the title. I come to you for advice as a Chica follower who wants a male perspective. Love listening to the pod as I've mostly grown up as one of the guys, girls next door stereotypes, and your humor reminds me of that. I noticed the majority of the questions on the pod are dudes asking for relation advice. I've been single for a year, kind of playing the field and working on myself. It's been dope. Now back in the dating game, I've noticed a pretty big pattern, and I don't know how to approach it. So many dudes will give the same lines about how awesome our dates are going or how cool they think I am, only to fade out after a few dates. I'm 26, have my shit together, support myself independently, but I'm also in touch with being feminine. I generally like to think these dates are going as well as the guys verbalizes, but I'm starting to get a little guarded with this build up and then disappearing act. What advice do you have for girls who follow your pod that are getting mosted? Mosted. I've never heard that before. Yeah, Jackie, I'm sorry you're dealing with that. That's it's not fun when someone makes you feel one way and then they're not following through on it. I think like if sometimes people, they just like the momentum of dating, but they don't really want to sit in it.
Yeah, I agree, and I would I don't want to tell you too much what to do because I don't really know what the answer is, but I'd say a lot of times in those early on dating stages, I feel like a lot of times it's either like one of two things. Either you're putting too much effort into it up top, it could scare people away, or you're not putting enough effort into it. And for me personally, oftentimes with the ladies, they always tell guys, like, guys, play it cool, but sometimes if girls play it too cool, I'm like, oh, she's not interested, so I don't pursue it any further. So I don't know which is the case for you. Maybe you're doing it perfectly, I don't know, but I'd sort of maybe try to assess that a little bit and be like, well, did I show this guy enough that I'm interested too? Or maybe did I let him know early on that I'm too interested? I hate that there's that balancing act, but I think unfortunately it's part of the game. So
it's crazy. I mean, dating's so hard. Just being back out there a little bit. It's like, I mean, we're all so in our heads. Yeah. And we just don't want to be rejected. And then, guys, we're also crazy horny.
Yeah.
And it's a terrible combination.
Yeah, and for me personally, I like when girls up top let me know that they're interested.
I love that.
I love it. Yeah.
It takes a lot of the pressure off.
Yeah. Because I'm like, now I know we're not playing this stupid ass game of like, I'm not going to text you back for like 3 hours to like build up the attraction. It's like, that's all fucking horse shit, And
you want to spend time with someone who makes you feel good.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's just me because I'm like a border collie.
Yeah.
But one of the things I really loved about my last girlfriend was that right away she was just having a great time when we hung out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And she was like invigorated. She had vitality.
Yeah.
That's the most exciting thing someone can have, is just because they're excited.
Yeah. And also, I think you brought up a good point too. It's like, what's the in a lot of books I read, about like improving yourself and stuff, or like from business people, they're like when they learn the secret to doing what they do, a lot of it was just like, I became successful when I started having fun. And I think if you take that approach to relationships where you're like, you know what, I'm just gonna go out there and have fun. I'm gonna enjoy myself. That is contagious to other people and they will be drawn to that. So I think if you just have like the core belief, telling your mind, my goal right now is to have fun, then people are going to have fun with you. And before you know it, you're going to have a whole squad just being like, when are we going to Wendy's tonight? I want to get nuggets.
Beef of the week is with Tad. Bros, I love you guys. I listen every week and you guys give me stoke beyond measure. You bring sunshine to my rainy days in Vancouver, BC, Canada. I have a beef of the week to pick with your pod, though. I just listened to episode 108 with Tad, a.k.a. Molly Bro. Oh, I didn't realize you meant that, Tad. It's super kill that he's trying to spread the word about another way to find bliss in this chaos that is life. But this pod has kids listening and shit. I don't think it's dank for listeners to listen to the show and think that Molly every day is the way to fulfill your life's purpose. I think you should acknowledge that drugs can be a big problem for some people and that blanket statement isn't just dropping M every day to make your life better. You guys are so great at building the stoke in healthy ways, and I think there should be a disclaimer about Tad's theory on Molly. We addressed this briefly on an earlier podcast, and I hear you. You have to understand it wasn't our intention for that to be the message. We were trying to do something else, and I don't think it came through to everyone. Look, we absolutely do not think you should be doing Molly every day. Like, that's fucking crazy. Of course you should not be doing Molly every day. Look, I don't even do drugs, and like, I used to though, but like, I don't even do drugs, and when my friends start doing drugs now, I'm like a holy roller. I'm like, hey guys, slow down. I'm bringing them water bottles all the time to make sure they're hydrated, and I try to take the energy out of that like competitive drug taking that goes on where everyone's like, hey, you're being a bitch or whatever. Like, I hate that shit. So, and I'm getting too defensive. I Yeah, it would make me very happy if people took away from this podcast that they were going to live healthier. So
Yeah. I agree. Yeah, you don't take Molly every day. Do sprints every day.
yeah, thank you for the email. Yeah. Don't do Molly every day. Please don't do Molly. All right. Chad, what is your beef of the week?
My beef of the week is with the McDonald's Monopoly game. I was watching this new doc, which is amazing. You should check it out, by the way. It's called McMillions. It's on HBO.
I heard it's so good.
It's so good. But as a kid, I was so into the McDonald's Monopoly game. Like, there was one summer, I think it was like 5th grade, I was playing it. I would have my mom take me to McDonald's every day. I'm like, Mom, I'm getting fries every day and McFlurries, and I'm going to win this game. I'm going to get Boardwalk and get $1 million. And she was on board too. She's like, I freaking love this game. I love eating some of your McFlurries, and I love you, son. And I was like, thank you, Mom. So we were playing the game, and then we come to find out, after the game is over, that McDonald's basically faked it so that they could catch people who were playing it fraudulently. And they're like, so basically, like, no one was able to win.
Really?
Yeah. And they were trying to catch, which, respect to them for trying to find people who were faking it, but also not respect to them. And you guys are schmoles for tricking me into playing that game and thinking I could win. And just, I don't know. My beef is with them for tricking me because, it really broke my heart, and it made me lose a lot of trust in fast food establishments. But I think the good side of it is that I had a lot of good times with my mom. So shout out to my mom. We ate a lot of McFlurries together, and that was a good time. So I appreciate you, McDonald's, for the good times you brought me, but also fuck you for having to spend probably thousands of dollars on your products so that we could not win that speedboat or $1 million.
Nice, dude.
My beef.
Good beef. My beef of the week is with and this isn't even, dude, it's not even a strong beef. My beef of the week is with Jorge Masvidal. He's like a UFC fighter I really like. And what was so cool about him last year is that he really came into his own after like 15 years in the game. And he had like 3 fights where he just performed phenomenally. But I think his shtick has gotten a bit too shticky. What I liked about him so much was that he was authentic. And now the lines are starting to feel more canned. The outfits are getting more outrageous. And it kind of feels like he's becoming a parody of himself. And I've seen this process happen so many times with athletes or entertainers that I like, and it just bums me out. You know what I mean? I just want to see him scale it back, do less press, and just kind of be the quiet guy who had to be forced to talk, not the guy who was like eager to talk. But the hard part is he makes money from talking. So it's like, what can you do? But I don't know. I guess my beef is just with the ephemeral nature of appreciating public figures. You always go through this invariable, disillusionment with them. And I'm going through that right now with George or Jorge. So, yeah.
What's his shtick?
He just kind of like acts super badass and would be like, I don't know, ask me if I want to fight Conor McGregor.
Yo, do you want to fight Conor McGregor?
He's eating like a huge pizza slice. Back in the day, he wouldn't have had a huge pizza slice. Nah, that little dwarf doesn't want to fight me. Coming to 170, get his fucking ass rocked. He doesn't want that fight. Chad, who is your babe of the week?
My babe of the week is Disney CEO Bob Iger. I've been listening to his book, The Ride of a Lifetime. It's been pretty sweet. It has been the ride of a lifetime listening to that book. I think he's just a beast. I mean, it's I've always loved Disney as a kid. I love Disneyland, and I think anyone who's able to climb that ladder and get to the top, I mean, he's got to be a beast. And in interviews, he seems like a super nice guy. And I'm not the biggest fan of Marvel movies and Marvel in general, but I respect what he's done for Disney and with Pixar. And a lot of the stories with Steve Jobs are hilarious. Like, he's talking about Steve Jobs is like, yeah, so I took my son to see Iron Man 2. It sucked.
Really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
You sounded hilarious. Pretty intense, though. You sound like an intense guy. But yeah, Bob Iger, he just, I think he's done a good job for Disney, and I've enjoyed listening to his book, and seems like a cool guy, so I would like to kick it with him one day. And thank you for teaching me some of the lessons of how you acquired your job, and it sounds like you went through the ringer trying to become CEO, so respect to him. And also I like that he kind of his basic teaching is like, I always like guys who are like, yeah, you know, I didn't have the most like him and like George Clooney are always like, I will outwork anyone. I always respect people who are like that, who are like, you know, he's like, I went into this business not really knowing much about entertainment, about television, like he ran ABC for a while, and not knowing much about ABC or movies and stuff, but he's like, I worked harder than anyone. I learned the craft, I learned this stuff, and now I'm on top. So I think it's just, it's really inspiring to anyone out there who's trying to do something huge. So, yeah, so he's my babe.
Beast. My babe of the week, and it's long overdue, is The Onion.
Oh, nice.
I just think for years they've just been pumping out the funniest content. They take on everyone. They have the best jokes, and they just rip everything to shreds in the most fun way possible. I couldn't really find a great one right now, but I'm just going through their Instagram page. Thinking about grandma does little to prevent man's ejaculation.
Wait, what is the headline again?
Thinking about grandma does little to prevent man's ejaculation.
Oh, that's what it's. I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, I gotcha. That's funny.
Parenting experts reveal forcing child to shoot dying pet only teaches lesson about mortality for first 5 or so times. Yeah, that's so funny. They're just the best. Everything they do is just hilarious, and I respect their writing so much, and yeah, I just love you guys. So big ups to The Onion. Chad, who is your legend of the week?
My legend of the week is this guy on McMillions, Doug Harris. He's an FBI agent.
Nice.
Funniest FBI agent I've ever seen. Check out this doc, guys. He's just like, you know, we were talking about like how you should approach each situation having fun. Like this guy is like the epitome of that. He's just like super amped to go undercover. He's like, dude, I saw this case about McDonald's and fraud. I was like, I'm in. And he's just like the silliest dude, but he's also an FBI agent, which I thought, you know, I was like, that's the way to be. Even if you're in like in a position where you're supposed to be a serious guy, you can still bring stoke to it and go undercover wearing a Hawaiian and, you know, take down some dudes who are defrauding McDonald's. Is that the right phrase? Defrauding?
Yeah.
Nice. So yeah, guys, check out the doc. This dude Doug Harris is hilarious. So that's my legend.
My legend of the week is my buddy Robert. Beast. Been a buddy since we were kids. I love this guy dearly. He was always the point guard of the crew. Like he always was making plans and setting things up and getting things in motion, and always wanted us to be there on time, and was just a real operator. And yeah, I don't know how, you know, colorful I can get, but he was always just had an entrepreneurial spirit, and he's transitioned into adult life beautifully. And I just always enjoy talking with him. He's hilarious. He's energetic, and he's smart, and he's a great guy. And him and his beautiful wife Katie, they had a beautiful boy, Jack. And unfortunately, he had some medical issues, and he had to have a big surgery. But from what I'm seeing, he came out of it nicely today. And yeah, I'm just happy for you guys. My heart's with you, Robert. I love you, buddy. You're the man. And you know, his whole fam's great too. I just grew up with them, and they're really nice people. So yeah. All right, my dog. What is your quote of the week?
I don't know. I gotta look one up. Sorry. Damn it, I don't know. Who has good quotes?
Winston Churchill. Albert Einstein, Carl Sagan, Arthur Schopenhauer,
I like Carl Sagan.
Jean-Paul Sartre,
What about Jean-Paul Van Damme?
Jean-Claude.
Jean-Claude Van Damme? Is that what?
Yeah, JCVD.
Oh. Oh, yeah, Jean-Claude.
He's probably got some good quotes. I mean, I bet you most of his good quotes no one ever wrote down because they were at 3 a.m. and had an empty bag of Coke right next to him.
Yeah. Oh, here's one. Oh, this is Jean-Claude Van Damme. I'm fascinated by air. If you remove the air from the sky, all the birds would fall to the ground, and all the planes too.
Dude, that's the best quote we've ever had. Unbelievable.
Thanks.
Mine is from the TV show Enlightened, one of my favorite shows, and this is my favorite episode, season 2, episode 3, where Luke Wilson in his best part goes to rehab in Hawaii, and he's kind of an asshole the whole episode because he just can't he just can't buy in. But by the end of it, he just decides that even though he can't buy in, he's just going to pretend to buy in and see what happens, because he hasn't had luck doing it his way, so why not just try the other way? And this is the ending monologue that he writes back to his girlfriend, the main character of the show, Laura Dern, who told him to go. Hey, Amy. I'm still here. I'm doing their dumb trust games. Getting fat on the shitty food. You see, today we had another guided meditation. They told us to remember a time when we were our best self. Never been my best self. The closest to it I could think of was the person you thought I was in the beginning. I remember you talk about me like I was this great, beautiful person. I thought, who the fuck is she talking about? You saw something in me that didn't exist. Or maybe it did. Maybe you're my higher power. I don't believe in much, but I believe in you. Love, Levi. Yeah. All right, what's your phrase of the week for getting after
That
it?
was nice. Let's stuff the Oreo.
Oh, nice, dude. Let's pack the Banshee full of gunpowder. All right.
Let's Corona the virus.
Oh, baby. Scary stuff with that. Look, if you think you're sick, stay home.
Yeah.
Raise the stoke at home.
Dude, my mom's on a cruise right now, and did I talk about this? In the
Crazy, crazy town.
And, if they detect coronavirus on the cruise, they're like, it's quarantine for 14 days. You just have to sit in your cruise ship room for 14 days.
Oh, man. She'll be all right.
Yeah. No, she's got 2 days left, so I think she's cruising.
Guy today we went to a meeting today. Guy kept using the word kismet.
Yeah.
That was nice. I like
noticed
that word.
Yeah.
Destiny, fate. Your mom's got good kismet.
Kismet.
There it is. Guys, as always, we are brought to you by Danny Babona and UCI Baseball. If you're a young buckaroo and you can throw or hit, the place to go is UCI. They should call it UC Newport Beach because it's right there.
And we're also brought to you by Douglas Lubricant. Guys, you like to bone, and you like to bone well. And when you bone, you like to bone smooth, okay? And that's why you should bone with the best in the business. I'm talking about Douglas Lubricant, okay? Slather up your dong with some fresh lube, and they have tons of flavors, cherry, vanilla, grape, mango, which is tropical, nice, maybe if you're going to Tahiti or Hawaii. They also have original, anal. So whatever mood you're in, Douglas will take care of it, and they'll make sure that you got some smooth boning going on down there.
Yeah. Don't think you lubricant, because you lubricant. And guys, we're going to end this episode with a song from our friend Austin Miller. He did the theme songs for the show, and he wrote a very personal, very raw song about him and his lover, and I just think it's wonderful, and it's packed with all sorts of genius and crazy, and it reminds me of The Replacements, and I'm reading a book about them, and yeah, I think you guys will like it.
There's something wrong with you. How could I like someone this part.